Hello, good afternoon. My name is Byron Lara, and this is my speech uh, on the research paper that I did for psoriasis. Sorry, I have a soccer ball here, but I get nervous when I do these things, and I need to keep my hands kind of busy. So, starting off, the reason I chose this topic is pretty simple. It's personal. I've been dealing with scalp psoriasis for a while now, and if you never experienced it, it's not just a dry skin situation, it's constant itching, flaking, redness, and honestly, it can mess with your self confidence, especially when it's visible. Like a lot of people, I went online to find a solution, and if you ever search psoriasis on social media, you'll see a ton of influencers that saying they have found a cure, that to cut gluten, um, that their diet cures psoriasis. First, I believe some because it sounded really good, but then I started wondering how much like studies or sciences is put into this. So that's what led me to my main question: can changing your diet, especially through weight loss, can have a great effect? Um, to answer that, I focused on something researchers actually use called the PASI score, which stands for Psoriasis Area and Severity Index. And it basically measures how bad psoriasis is based on redness, thickness, and scaling. So instead of guessing if something feels better, this gives a real measure on the outcome. One of the main experts I looked at is Dr. April Armstrong from UCLA. She's a dermatologist who trained at Harvard Medical School and has done a lot of research on psoriasis. What I found interesting is that she doesn't say that it's a cure. Instead, she explains that lifestyle factors, especially obesity, are stronger in linked to how severe your psoriasis can be. So diet can matter, but not in a way that social media is making it seem. When I looked at actual research, the strongest evidence came from a study in 2018, systematic review published in JAMA Dermatologist. This study resulted from multiple clinical trials, which makes it more reliable than just one study. The main finding was that low calorie diets leading to weight loss actually reduced PASI scores, especially in people who were overweight. But there's the important part, not all diets work. Gluten free diets only help people who actually are sensitive to gluten. And supplements like fish oil had mixed results. So a lot of popular advices online just doesn't have a strong evidence behind it. One study that stood out to me was a randomized clinical trial from 2013. It involved it involved 60 overweight patients with moderate and severe psoriasis. Half of the followed a low calorie diet, and the other half didn't change anything. I think after 16 weeks, the group that lost weight showed clear improvement in their PASI scores. What I liked about this study is that it was very straightforward. It tested one thing, diet, measure one outcome, psoriasis severity, but it wasn't perfect. The sample size was small and it only looked at overweight people, so it doesn't apply to everyone. There are still a lot of unanswered questions. For example, we don't really know how diet affects people who are already at a healthy weight. We also don't know the long-term effects, like whether these improvements last over time, and psoriasis itself, it's complicated. What triggers is one person might not affect someone else at all. So my honest recommendation in this, diet can help, especially if weight is a factor, but it's not a cure. The strongest evidence for weight loss, not extreme diets or cutting random foods. For me personally, this definitely changes how I approach things. Instead of trying every diet I see online, I'm more focused on overall health and consistency. I'm not expecting food alone to fix my psoriasis, but I do think it can play a role in it. At the end of the day, what I learned that there's a big difference between what sounds good and what's actually proven. And for something as frustrating as psoriasis, that difference really matters. Thank you.